T10 Ramadan Cup 2022. Match number 9. It is Prime Gladiators taking on the team Markhors 11. Both teams winning their opening encounters respectively. It should be a cracking contest considering the fact that Markhors, especially in the betting department, have been absolutely fantastic in this tournament so far. The one outing that we saw, the way they played the shots and the chase, went about the business of chase, it was remarkable to see the batters unfurling those big booming shots under pressure. Excellent conditions here at the Asian Town Cricket Stadium. The pitches have been pretty good for batting. And giving the pitch report is Mikhail Vaswani.
Could see was the cracks were open, but now they have been completely closed. No live grass whatsoever, and this is also an indication this is another very fine batting track. I would want get you a lowdown on the surface and offer on day 5 of the Ooredoo Presents QCA T10 Ramadan Cup powered by Elite Sports. Last evening, 298 runs were scored in one T10 game. Only 4 wickets fell. That's enough indication of what the surface is going to be like. This is day 5 and not much has changed, to be very honest. In fact, it has gotten even better for batting. Few days ago, when I went down and saw this particular surface, what I could see was the cracks were open, but now they have been completely closed. No live grass whatsoever, and this is also an indication this is another very fine batting track. I would want to call it a batting paradise, simply because from the good length spot as well, yesterday the batters were hitting it over the boundary ropes. We saw 148 being chased down last evening, and that in itself is a record chase in this particular tournament. I'd still want to believe batting first or batting second, there's enough runs on it, but most teams and captains have chosen to bat first on the surface after winning the toss.
Thank you, Mikhail. Thank you very much. Promises that it's going to be another exciting day for batsmen to come out on this particular surface and use their willow. The pace and the bounce has been quite consistent on these pitches, and they've been using the same pitch, and it's been very well prepared by the pitch curator, and the watering and rolling that was required was done efficiently by him to prepare this out the kind of track that is quite suitable for T10 version of the game. Decision at the toss has always been a talking point. Will there be betting decision or bowling decision? I was there earlier doing the toss for it. Ooredoo presents QCA T10 Ramadan Cup 2022, match number 9 of the competition. It is the team Prime Gladiators taking on the team Markhors. I've been joined by 2 captains and match referee. The captains, we got Sattar, who is representing the team Markhors, and we got Aman, who is representing the team Prime Gladiators. Sattar is going to spin the coin.
Spin. I'll go for head.
Head is a call.
It is tail.
It's tail. So you won the toss. What is your decision?
Yeah, I'll go for bet first. Like last match, we did 93. So again, we'll hopefully 100 will be better for us.
Any change in your side today?
Yeah, one change. Shabir replacing with Sohail.
There has been a lot of talk about whether spinners are fruitful or fast bowlers. Who do you think will have more impact in the bowling department?
Depend on the bowler. Actually, leg spin should be better for the team, but we have off spinner. Inshallah, hopefully, we'll try with him.
All the very best for today's contest.
Yeah, thank you.
So you are forced to bowl first.
Yes, thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Actually, I wanted to bat first today. Unfortunately, I lost the toss, and let's see. We'll give them tough time, inshallah.
You had a tremendous turnout the other day, as far as support from the spectators as well, and the way you batted in particular. Any changes as far as the batting order is concerned today?
There are no changes in batting order. I mean, couple of players we are going to change. I mean, Kashif is in, Kiran is out, and then Karamat is not playing today. He's my main attack bowler. He's been replaced with Tahir. So let's see.
All the very best, but all the very best for today's game.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So the news from the centre is that in these conditions, under lights, the pitch has been playing so well in this tournament. Prime Gladiators winning the toss and deciding to bat first. So they return to the trend of winning the toss and batting first here on this historic venue, the Asian Town Cricket Stadium, under lights in this encounter, which promises to be an exciting one, considering the batting potential of Markhors batters in particular in this contest. In the commentary box, I'm Devendra. With me is Chandra. Good evening, Chandra.
Good evening, Devendra. Good evening, one and all. Yes, it's been a wonderful tournament so far. Today being no less, it's Markhors taking on Prime Gladiators. We should have the live game in a while from now. The two umpires will be making their way to the middle. So this is what Prime Gladiators look like. They have been impeccable with their batting. Saeed Aman on top, Nafaz Ahmed, Omar Saeed, Nasif, Mubashir, Abdullah, Muhammad, Bashir Abdul, Ismail Hazera, Faisal, Sohail and Sajjad. They have already won their opening contest and they will look to capitalize on that. Second team, Markhors, the big hitters from the top, Abdul Sattar, Ramzi, Wasim, Razak, Farhan, Kasif, Inam, Abdus Samad, Khalil, Tahir and Shahzeb. They have been a team who has done extraordinarily well in their batting department. Yesterday winning by a huge margin.
Usman and Jabbar, the on-field umpires, they're already taken the ground. The fielding team has already come to the ground as well. And it is going to be exciting affair, especially in the first 3 overs with power play field restrictions. It's only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. And against a team like Markhors, when you're setting the total, you should be thinking about getting at least 120 on the board and take all those catches coming your way, because catching hasn't been good so far in this tournament, and they need to work on the running between the wicket aspect as well. So plenty to think about, plenty to be found today, how they approach this game, especially first 3 overs. Will they use the fast bowlers or spinners? The focus has been on using the fast bowlers in critical phase in the innings. We haven't seen any spinner being used in the first 3 overs so far in this tournament. Will that change or not? That has to be taken into consideration. Looking at the conditions, looking at the strengths and weaknesses of the opposition batters, they will try to find out proper bowler, maybe a leg spinner. We haven't seen an exciting leg spinner in this tournament so far, and there seems to be one featuring for the team. So Mehboober Rahman is the batsman who is taking strike at the moment. 36 runs in the first innings, and giving him company is Nasheeb. Just 1 run in solitary appearance for him, so he would like to get himself going. If they win today, they will set themselves in a position from where they might start thinking about qualification. Abdul is the bowler with slip in position. Starts with a wide.
So that's what has been the trend here. win the toss and bat first. The first ball going for a wide. Many wides have been bowled in this tournament so far in all the matches. Lots of extra.
Beautiful delivery. Pace, bounce and movement away.
That was angled out. Wonderful delivery that, going into the gloves of the keeper straight away. Batsman just missing the bounce.
Looking to hit the pitch and get some movement and bounce. Pulled away into the gap on the onside. Enough connection, taking it to the boundary for first boundary tonight.
Timing was the key there on that ball. He held on to the ball and pulled it away for a boundary. The first boundary of the evening of the match.
The struggle continues with the lines. Can it bowl another outswinger? When you're setting up the score.
Absolutely right, Devinder. Inam or Rahman, who is the next bowler.
Looking for that cut shot.
That was smartly left to the keeper. He didn't want to fiddle on that outside the off-time line, so let it go better.
Slip in third man. He's beaten again, but it's a wide.
That line belongs to the umpire, and that swing helping the batting team to get an extra run. Inam bowling a wonderful over so far. It's been a dot and a wide.
Clear focus of taking the ball away from the left-hand batter this time around, straightening up after pitching, and single accumulated eventually.
10 without loss at the end of 1.2 overs.
Not quite getting the timing, taking the pace off. Was exploring the opportunity of running the batsman out, but was well home in nick of time. From where he's going to find the boundary, the left and right in combination at crease.
Inam should be looking for early wickets. This was bumped hard into the ground, and we know this strip is good for batting. Batsman taking no chance there for a single because the ball went straight to the fielder.
Bowlers who can hit the deck and can get the ball to bounce will have more punches out of the surface. At times they get tennis ball bounce. Bit of extra bounce.
But wonderful fielding there, saving some runs for the team there.
More changes in the field. Third man at the long off on the boundary. It means the focus would be on taking the ball away from the left-hand batter. The backward point in position as well.
Has been beaten this time again. Same line. That's the line you have to bowl. Batsman wanting to cut it.
All the teams have played at least one match in this competition so far. The first phase of the tournament was completed yesterday. Beaten again. That same story. Hitting the deck, getting the ball to bounce. The spongy bounce from the surface certainly not helping to the cause of the batsman in his stroke production. Excellent over the second one. And that's been the story so far. 2 points for the team Fetam Doha, winning on the opening day. Sprite Cricket Stars registering a close win yesterday with 2 points for them as well. Bengal Tigers and Gulfar Al Misnad will be looking for huge wins in order to change that negative net run rate as well, in order to come into contention. Selects CC getting 2 points to their credit as well. Pulled away on the onside, and beautifully struck Lovely timing and carries all the way for 6.
That was taken on the up. What timing that. The pull was perfect. And the boundary crossing the line.
Picking it from around the off stump. Beautifully timed. That will give some kind of boost in the batting department, the way he's been able to time the stroke.
Yet again a miss. The line is good. This time he wanted to pull it again, but completely missed the line of the ball.
And that stroke was needed because we saw bowlers making that clear intention by pitching the ball short and getting the ball to bounce and beating the batsman. So it was important that he produces one shot to create doubt in the mind of the bowler as well, that he will be chasing for his opportunities.
That's a wide ball. Down the offside, wide line. Umpire having no hesitation there. Bowler trying to do something extraordinary there to take a wicket.
4 more deliveries to go in this power play overs. Pushes the ball through the offside, will take a single. Not getting the boundaries, you know that length is not ideal for a particular batsman to smack it into the boundary. It's important to find a way to feed a strike to your partner who is comfortable playing that particular length that they are trying to execute at the moment, the bowling unit.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about the partnership and your understanding between the two batsmen. They have been good yesterday.
Point on the boundary on the offside. This time gets it over the top of the man. Not quite, not quite. The catch is taken. And Abdul strikes early inside the mandatory power play overs. Again, the similar plan. Hitting the deck, getting the ball to bounce. He wanted to get it over the top of the man at the backward point and slicing it straight into his hands.
Absolutely, absolutely. He wanted to get it over the midfield, but not quite getting the bat on it. Sliced it up in the air, backward square leg, making no mistake there. The first wicket goes down in the form of Naseef. He's gone for 2 of 7. Score is 19 for the loss of 1 wicket.
You have to admire the way they've been bowling, assessing the wicket conditions, knowing that for fast bowlers the best possible length to hit is back of length and getting the ball to bounce. Well, the new batsman in. Couldn't quite get up to a flying start in this contest. Only 19 after 2.4 overs, and they lost the wicket as well.
That 1 wicket coming in the power play so far. Still 2 balls to go.
Third man is coming up in the circle. Stroked away over the top of extra. Not quite getting the ball to time well.
Yes, the timing was not quite good there. There's an overthrow, call for second run, but no. Fielder is on top of the ball after that fumble.
They're using the length that they're quite adept at bowling with the tennis ball and getting the ball to bounce and creating troubles for batsmen, and that's what he's trying to do. Make no changes the way he's bowling today as well. So a successful over after conceding 6 of the very first ball of the over number 3, and 3 overs have indeed been bowled with 1 wicket down for 20. Mahbubur Rahman is batting on 14 of 10 deliveries, and Naseef once again failed to get a start. Out for 2, only the batsman out so far. Syed Aman to come, the captain of the side. Nafis Ahmed, Omar Saeed, Abdullah Muhammad, Bashar Abdul, Ismail Hajera and Faisal Anwar, with Sajjad also in the bowling department. 20 for 1 after 3 overs, then they're scoring at the rate of 6.67, which is well below par.
Considering this as a T10 game, Scoring in this particular match has been very slow. Tahir will be bowling from the industrial area end now.
Long off and long on in place. This time it beats him with outswinger, but too far outside the off stump. It's a wide.
As we discussed earlier, Devinder, the wides have been too many in this tournament, and those make overs stretched by a couple of overs.
Beautiful delivery. Getting the line right this time around. They got 3 men on the offside for the right and better on the boundary. Men at the point, sweeper and men at the long off region. Now that man has been pushed back. At the third man on the boundary point goes up in the circle. Men at the sweeper and long off, long on, and men at the mid wicket position on the onside on the boundary. Beautifully bowled once again. That's the length that they've been so impressive so far.
That was wonderfully bowled. Batsman completely missing the line of the ball this time. Good that he missed the bat's edge, else he would have been gone.
Ball beautifully done. Again the movement away. He's wiring his lengths impressively. Whenever he's pitching it up, he's getting the ball to move, and whenever he's taking it short, he's getting a little bit of extra bounce and also movement of the surface as well with the new hard ball in his hands. Not a convincing stroke, but it will give some relief as he walks to the non-striker end.
Absolutely. Tahir keeping it very, very simple in his first over. He has only conceded 3 runs off his first 4 balls. Wonderful bowling that. That ball was sent as a Yorker. Batsman getting just an edge, and one more wicket goes down. Straight in the hands of the fieldsman, and the fieldsman making no mistake whatsoever. Second wicket goes down.
Good clear game plan. It was a fuller length delivery, looking to work through the onside, getting the leading edge, and comfortable catch taken. And that's the story. Continuing to lose wickets. They haven't got the amount of runs that they should have got in the first 4 overs. 23 for 2, 3.5 overs have been bowled, and Tahir gets the second wicket for the team as well. First for himself. This has been really struggle in the batting department for the team Prime Gladiators after winning the toss and batting first. Total of 16 teams participating. It's a 16-day event, and the final will be played on 22nd of April. Total of 31 league matches. The first phase is over in this tournament. Almost all the teams, indeed all the teams, have played their initial matches. 23 for 2 up, and the run rate is very disappointing on an excellent batting surface. 6 runs per over. Very impressive over from Tahir so far. Wide, and then conceding 2 singles and then a wicket.
And as I said, he's keeping his bowling very, very simple. He's not doing too much, and that hard work has already rewarded him a wicket.
Once a run here, taking on the man at the mid wicket. The throw is wild one, and that will give extra run. If they're thinking about getting the extra run, now settling for a single eventually. 4 overs have been bowled here at the Asian Town Cricket Stadium, and it's 24 for 2. That's the story so far. In the Group B, Selects CC winning the first match with an impressive run rate 2.6. They got the 2 points as well. Desert Warriors also registering win in their opening match with 2 points, and also in the positive run rate 1.8. And Master Cricket Club at minus 1.8, and Bhavan, who will be featuring tonight in the second encounter, struggling at minus 2.6. They need to win it with a big margin in order to up their net run rate. In Group C, Star CC, net run rate is quite impressive at plus 4, and Nihal 11 chasing down the target and getting 0.79 in the positive run rate, net run rate, and Legends and Pak Pak Afghan in particular, they have the potential to turn their fortunes around. Here in match number 9, Prime Gladiators struggling 24 for 2 after winning the toss and batting first.
Wasim sending this straighter. And this has been pushed towards the extra cover region. The deep fielder there couldn't stop a single. 1 run added to the total.
Under lights, excellent surface to bat on and great discipline and game plan from the team Markhors 11. The bowling has been absolutely top class. They've been so clear about the lengths that they want to bowl. Most of the deliveries around back of the length from the pacers. Beaten again, not quite covering the line of the ball coming at him.
Coming down the track this time, but no room there for the batsman to hit that shot. He wanted to hit it straight, but the ball bounced and went to the keeper's hand straight.
Excellent start to the spell for Wasim. Beaten again the outswinger.
That's exactly the line and length they should bowl, because this time the batsman was deep in his crease but still managed no connection with the ball.
And that will prompt a discussion, some kind of counseling from his partner about what should be the nature of the stroke that you should be playing, instead of throwing your bat around without giving a proper thought. And he's bowled him. Finally has struck Wasim in his first over. It has been really a struggle for Sohail at the crease, and eventually succumbing to the delivery which was aimed at the stumps.
What an over this has turned out to be. 1 dot dot and this wicket. Wonderful full length delivery into the stumps. Batsman completely missing the line of the ball with that cross shot. Third wicket goes down in the form of Sohail. And Prime Gladiators are 25 for the loss of 3 wickets.
Match will be over in 5-6 overs. 25 for 3 after 4.4 overs. Struggle for epic proportions in the batting department. Got to give credit to the fast bowlers that the way they bowled on this pitch. Faisal comes out to bat. Third man up. Gets the ball down the leg side. And it's a wide.
You don't bowl that wide ball after taking that wicket in that over. And what a over that was. Wonderful so far, except that wide, which shouldn't have been bowled at this stage because he was going very well with his line and length. What a sight for a bowler, that cleaning up the stumps.
Here it goes in from the QCA end into ball to right hand batsman. Bouncing delivery. A movement away from the right hander, but it's a wide. One down the leg side, one outside the off stump. Only struggle has been finding the ideal line to bowl on this pitch. Length has been impressive, but the lines have been erratic.
Absolutely, I would say keep it simple. You have been bowling a wonderful over, and those 2 wides might spoil that over. There's no need of doing any experiment at this stage of the game when you've already taken 3 wickets and conceded only 27 runs.
Searching for a fuller length delivery, this time trying to work through the onside, not quite getting the timing right. Finally getting one delivery which was within the stumps. 1, then dot dot, wicket, wide, dot again.
Absolutely a wonderful over so far. Wasim doing the trick for his umpire.
Is he thinking about getting one fuller to the right and better? This time it's been worked behind the square, and good connection to take it away to the boundary for 4. Again spraying on the pads and put away with consummate ease.
Onto the pads this ball, and wonderfully guided towards the third man boundary for a 4.
(31 for 3) after 5 overs. Was him taking 1 wicket for 7. 31 for 3. Prime Gladiators versus Markhors 11. In the match number 9 of the competition. We will have one more match featuring tonight after the completion of this match, starting at 8:30. Bhavan had a disappointing outing in the opening encounter. Will be in action tonight. Lovely outswinger. He's pitching the ball up. He's getting the ball to bounce and swing as well.
Tahir doing the trick there. He's bowling very good areas and not disappointing his captain. First delivery a dot.
Beaten not far away from the off stump. Frustrated by what he has been facing so far, not quite finding a solution, decided to walk down the pitch and look to lift that ball over the top of the man at the mid-off region. He's been beaten with swing. He's swinging the ball beautifully here at the Asian Town Cricket Stadium. Tahir just changing his length, pulling the length back. Just a gentle push to take a single here. They won't mind conceding singles. The Markhors, they were brilliant in their first match with bat, and today the bowling has been spot on.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is what it is all about. Tahir, this one has been guided to the fine leg boundary for a 4. Wonderful shot that.
Again the same problem, the lines around the leg stump. When you bowl around the leg stump, and was helped beautifully with fine leg up in the circle. It was about just getting away from him and down to the boundary for 4. That results in more changes in the field. The field remains the same with long off and long on in place. Man at the square position on the boundary on the onside. The fine leg is up in the circle. Third man is patrolling on the boundary. Sweeper on the offside and long off as well. Again, play and miss.
Beaten this time again. That boundary was hit because that ball was on the pads and it was guided to the fine leg area. But otherwise, it's been a wonderful bowling display tonight.
Can he finish the over well? Cracked away to the fielder on the boundary. So he has completed his spell of 2 overs, conceding 10 runs and taking wicket as well. So 6 overs have been bowled here at the Asian Town Cricket Stadium in Doha. That's the bowling display so far. The fast bowlers have been quite efficient. 1 for 17 in 2 overs for Abdul Sattar, and Inam bowling solitary over for 3 runs. 1 for 10 in 2 overs for Tahir, who was so impressive in this spell of 2 overs. Wasim Abbasi bowling 1 over, giving away 7 runs and taking wicket as well. So Prime Gladiators winning the toss and batting first are struggling. 37 for 3 after 6 overs. Chandra goes for a small break, and we will have Mikhail Vaswani in the commentary box. Subtle change in the field. Fine leg is on the boundary. Takes the edge and goes away to the boundary for 4. A welcome boundary for the team. Prime Gladiators, and welcome in the commentary box for Mikhail Vaswani as well with the boundary.
Very good evening, Devinder. Good evening to all our viewers. What a time to come in. What looked like a catch just went to the left of the fielder, stationed at short third man. Gladiators, after winning the toss, may have lost early wickets, but their intent of aggression continues. Devinder, we saw 150, 148 being chased last evening. We really can't put a number on this pitch at the moment.
Excellent delivery, pitching the ball up and rattling the stumps. getting the wicket as well. His second for Wasim, 2 wickets for 11 runs in this spell. Back of line delivery, getting the ball to bounce and then going with the Yorker. Batsman looking to work the ball through the onside. Was taken by surprise with their lovely pitched up delivery. And the ball going on to crash onto the stumps. Wickets continuing to tumble here on an excellent batting surface. It's 41 for 4.
Problems here for Gladiators. Faisal departs for 13 and 7. Wasim castling him with a very nice delivery ball into the pads. Couldn't get rid of that one. 2 for him already. Just coming back to last evening's performance by the Markhors. They may look very, very ordinary on the field, but when you give them the bat, they're a completely different side. Ismail making his way to the middle with his team in deep trouble.
Boundary of opportunities to batters. So much improved performance in bowling as well. They could well be the most favorite team in this tournament.
Once again, a very fine delivery right underneath the bat. You're talking about lengths, Devender. The hard lengths are so very important here. Even a good length ball last evening was carted over mid-wicket for a 6. That's how good the surface has played.
Search for boundary continues for the team Prime Gladiators. Third man is there on the boundary. Getting the ball to bounce. Another good lifting delivery.
It's a good comeback after conceding a 4. At the moment, Markhors will be sitting pretty and confident because they have practically taken control of things in the middle.
3 men on the boundary on the offside. And he sprays one down the leg side. With the field set on the off stump, should be thinking about bowling around the 4th stump rather than the leg stump. Searching for that incoming delivery, spraying it down the leg side.
298 runs scored last evening in the match between Markhors and United Challengers. Only 4 wickets fell. Today, though, the Gladiators have lost 4 for 42.
Stroked away. And it's gone for 4. Lovely timing.
There was work to do for the fielder at long off. Tried to get his foot in between. But a much needed 4 this time. Straight down the ground. Straight past the bowler. Put in the dive. The coach would have told, put in the dive, young man. Keep that foot out of the way.
Excellent delivery after conceding a boundary. Talking about diving effort, putting the dive in, not because most of the times they play on concrete pitches and outfield as well, bar and outfield. So they're worried about that injury, scared because they need to go for the job as well the next day. And that's why it's very difficult to adjust to. Will take a little bit of time. More exposure to these kind of conditions will certainly allow them to go for those diving attempts as well.
That's a good observation. They are working professionals out here, the cricketers. Unlike in other countries, they have roles to play off the field as well. But just talking about the team and the batting performance, just looking at the skyscraper, the first over, the third, 6th and 7th being a little productive here for Gladiators. But they are struggling to put on a total on the board. And just coming back to the exposure they've got, just happened to speak to one of the players from Sprite Cricket Stars. And he did tell me that as a spinner bowling on mat, the length was most of the time short of the length because the ball would really zip past once after pitching. But out here on the turf, it's coming slowly. This exactly is what exposure we are talking about.
This time he has thumped this one high up in the air but will fall short of the fielder. And again, even the seasoned cricketers, for example, the Indian cricketers, when they travel to Australia, England, they also struggle for lengths. Those who get a lot of facilities practice sessions, coaches, all the expertise that is required, he's beaten outside the off stump. All the facilities they get, and they play day in and day out. But still, it takes a while for them to get used to the ideal lengths to bowl on wickets. So certainly it's a challenge for these guys.
Different lengths and different carry. The last one keeping low, and this one from the good length, or rather back of the length, just surprising the batter as well, or just shooting up after pitching. He's picked this one over mid-wicket in the vacant area. Work to do for long on, and he won't be able to cut that off. Another 4 this time. Just throwing his bat and giving it a wild swing, Ismail, and fetches 4.
Pitched up delivery, he's clearing his front leg out of the way, and the length was there to swing his willow, made a decent connection and found a boundary as well, a jail breaking boundary through the onside. That's where they have developed the tendency by playing a lot of tennis ball cricket to get those boundaries away. Stroked straight down the ground onto the man at the long off position for a single. Only 52 on the board.
Oh yes, the scoring has been very slow from the batting side. Despite having 6 wickets in hand, time has come for them to... Oh, he's beaten, and he's bowled as well, playing the wrong line this time, and he's been castled. You miss, I hit. He had only had to keep it straight, and Kashif is delighted.
Yeah, the effort was to produce the boundary. What he does, he finds the accuracy with line and length. Attacking the stumps, was coming down the pitch, missed the line of the ball comprehensively, little bit of movement as well in the air, and the stumps shattered. Did not celebrate this wicket. Just asking everyone to stay in their position. Just they want to get through this over. And he's bowling beautiful rhythm as well. No wonder he wants to complete his over without getting into any kind of celebratory mode. Sajjad, the batsman, out. It's 52 for 5 after 8 overs.
Markhors chased down 148 last night, and at the moment 52 looks like a stroll in the park for them. What a bowling performance, a very different bowling performance to what we saw yesterday from the Markhors. They looked a lot more lethargic last evening, slow off the blocks.
Again, that tennis ball bounce is beaten outside the off stump. Much improved performance in the bowling department for the team Markhors, and that did not enable easy scoring opportunities to the team Prime Gladiators, and it's been disappointing performance, to be honest. Not quite identifying the areas from where they can get the runs as well. They kept swinging it straight or through the onside. Chance here.
There was whatsoever no run in the second opportunity that they were looking at. Ricochet off the stumps. It's been a very, very sedate, cautious approach. The Gladiators have just not been able to cut loose. Credit has to be given to the Markhors bowling as well. They've not offered any kind of width.
Well, the kind of batters that they possess in their unit, if they keep bowling the way they've been bowling today, they are prime contenders for lifting the QCA T10 Ramadan Cup 2022. Again, the bouncing ball. It's been signaled as a wide.
Not easy for a bowler as well. I felt that was a very nice, well-directed shot delivery. These are the hard lengths in the T10 format, which are very hard to get rid of. And if they can consistently find that spot, run scoring will become difficult. They've tightened things.
Full length delivery. Not quite getting the timing. Whenever they're pitching it up, they're not timing the stroke. The intimidation of bowling or facing a short ball. Not quite prepared to hit the full length delivery. The opportunity was there. Beaten again. Series of outswingers and results have been very, very effective for the team Markhors bowling unit.
Oh, it's the angle that Inam is generating while coming into bowl from over the wicket. The left arm seamer just creating that angle which is very difficult for Ismail to get rid of. Once again looks to give that wild swing, manages to get some bat on it, single towards long on. No boundaries here, they've dried up. By far they're staring at the lowest total so far in the tournament. 5 wickets still in hand, and Gladiators will want to make the most of the 7 deliveries.
Can he finish the over well? Gets another dot ball. 6 more deliveries to go in the first innings of the match number 9. Prime Gladiators versus Markhors 11. Prime Gladiators captain winning the toss, batting first. They're crawling along at the moment, 56 for 5 after 9 overs in excellent conditions for batting. The pitch has been absolutely fantastic for batting, but the application, the shot making on this surface hasn't been quite good from the team Prime Gladiators.
This time played towards backward point region, in the gap, no cover there. It'll be 4. Good start to the final over here by Ismail.
Fraction shot outside the off stump. And I was talking about identifying the area. He was spot on with that. Just giving a bit of room to himself, opening the face of the bat as well, and getting the necessary timing to put it away to the boundary for 4.
Five legal deliveries left. This time the ball keeping low once again. The batter backing away to make some room for himself.
Again, the leg cutter. The focus has been on taking the ball away from the right-handers. That was slightly slower in execution.
Oh, slow delivery. That was a dummy. Should be an easy, soft dismissal. Lobbed back to the bowler. And Kash says, thank you very much. Very smart piece of bowling there.
2 back-to-back slower deliveries. This time the length was slightly fuller, and within the stumps as well, around the leg stump, looking to work the ball away through the onside, getting the leading edge and comfortable catch. He knew that it was coming his way, and he was successful in executing it as well. Wickets continuing to tumble here at the Asian Town Cricket Stadium. The run scoring has been a serious challenge for the team Prime Gladiators as they lose yet another wicket in the final over. 60 for 6.
Goes for that wild swing once again, gets the top edge towards the backward point region. They're running for the second one. This could be very close, and yes, he's nowhere in the frame. That's another easy wicket and a run out as well for the Prime Gladiators. They've been losing wickets in heaps, and Markhors are all over them. The running and calling has been very poor.
Yeah, they should have been more aggressive with their approach. Look at this one, like tactical approach to convert 1 into 2, especially when you're batting in the final over. They should be going at full throttle. It's not happening at the moment. Another wicket goes down in form of run out.
What a fine bowling effort, fielding effort by Markhors. Last evening got to 150 in 9.5 overs, and today they have restricted the opposition to 61 in 9.4 overs with 2 balls to go. This has been a very, very good effort by them, and this clearly will help them put that one leg of theirs across the finishing line. Bashar, the new man in, he'll have 2 deliveries to face. Can he just provide some entertainment?
Fans coming in good number to witness this encounter. A big fan base here in Qatar for the team Markhors. They will be batting second. This time a full length delivery. He's beaten, wants a run. Wicketkeeper wasn't sure whether to celebrate it and hit the stumps. And they decision to release the ball, and a single is accrued.
I just wonder what the wicketkeeper was thinking behind the stumps. He should have released that ball immediately because it's the death overs. It's the penultimate ball of the innings. But what an over this has been from Kashif. Slow delivery again, just hits him on the pads. Very fine bowling effort by the Markhors ensures the Gladiators finish on 63 in their stipulated 10 overs, and this has been a below par performance by the Gladiators. Markhors will want to believe walking into that dugout that they will do this in good time. Batting first, Mahbubur got 15. He was looking nice, but after that 3 wickets fell in a heap. Not many scoring, getting into double figures. Faisal and Ismail raised hopes of an unlikely fight back, but by the end of it they finished on 63 in 10 overs. 11 extras adding to those runs and the tally, but otherwise it's been a very ordinary batting effort.
Game plan and the execution, the length and the lengths in particular, spot on throughout the course of the action. 1 for 17 for Abdul Sattar, the captain of the side, taking 1 wicket for 17 in 2 overs. And in 2 overs, just giving away 7 runs with the new ball. Inam, 1 for 10 in 2 overs for Tahir Muhammad, who took out the key man out at a time when they were building a partnership, and Wasim Abbasi taking 2 wickets for 16, 2 wickets for 11 in 2 overs for Kashif Qureshi. So an excellent bowling performance, great plans and fantastic execution. And that's what has transpired so far. Mahbub getting 15 of 15 for Ismail, and Faisal getting 13 of 7, 2 for 11 for Kashif. That's 2 bowling in the death overs. Wasim taking 2 for 16, and Tahir through the middle course of the action, just conceding 10 runs and taking a wicket. Prime Gladiators winning the toss and batting first, a disappointing batting performance. We take a short break. We'll be back very soon with the Markhors team openers in the central. Welcome back to the Asian Town Cricket Stadium here in Doha, Qatar for the second innings. Here is the batting performance, a disappointing one from Prime Gladiators after winning the toss and batting first. Rahman getting 15 of 12, raising the hope for the team to take it forward, but after that it's been procession of wickets. 13 of 7 from the blade of Faisal and 15 of 15 from Ismail, otherwise no major contribution. Only posting 63 for 7 in their stipulated 10 overs. With just 11 extras. Real struggle in the batting department. The lines and lengths quite efficient from the Markhors bowlers, and that's the situation so far in this tournament. Total of 16 teams participating in 4 groups of 4 teams each. Petam Doha, Sprite Cricket Stars, Select CC, Desert Warriors, Star CC, Nihal 11, Prime Gladiators and Markhors 11 getting up to a winning start. Rest of the teams, it's been real challenge against the top quality batting performance from, especially from Markhors in the previous game, chasing down 148. In the commentary box, I'm Devendra. With me is Raja. Good evening. This hasn't been the kind of batting performance that you expect in these kind of conditions from Prime Gladiators batters tonight.
Good evening, Devendra. A beautiful evening, and very rightly put by you. It's an absolute flat track, a magnificent track for batting, in fact. And it would be an understatement to say that they have fallen just off the required score in these types of conditions.
So that's the field. They got slip in position, third man on the boundary. Fine leg is up in the circle, by the way, and man at the third man on the boundary, and long on the boundary. For the right-handed batsman, they got slip in position as well. 2 fieldsmen allowed outside the 30-yard circle in the first 3 mandatory power play overs. They got men at the backward point, men in the cover point position, and short extra cover. Men at mid-off on the offside. Mid-wicket is also inside the circle, around 15 yards from the batter. How they start? Known for fiery start.
And that one was played back to the bowler, judging by the carnage that was shown by Markhors in the game yesterday. I'm expecting this game to be over quite quickly today, Devendra. The first ball there was played back to the bowler, a gentle, nice, on the merit stroke by the batsman.
Still persisting with the slip in position. Back of the length should be the ideal length to bowl, and he bowls one and gets the movement away from the batsman. That's the length that he should be concentrating on, as we have already seen in the first innings as well. Quite successful with back of length and looking to take the ball away from the right-hand batter.
Yeah, we've closely watched how the bowlers have been successful bowling that line and length outside the off stump a bit fuller. And this time it was in his zone, and he's cleared the in-ring fielder. They've gotten off the mark, and they've gotten off the mark in style.
Hitting on the rise is an art. It's an excellent surface to bat on. Back of land delivery, just composing himself and thumping it over the top of mid-off and down to the boundary for 4. A confidence boosting stroke. A real thump given down the ground for 4. And beaten again, trying to walk down the pitch, looking to go for a big booming shot, then readjusting his shot. This is a nice challenge developing. Couple of excellent deliveries and a boundary as well in between that forced the captain to put that fielder back on the boundary at the long off position.
Sambashar comes into ball, and a little short, rising on the batsman. He was able to work it away for a single. There was a fieldsman in place at short mid-wicket. Yes, I like the way Shahzeba started off. Very uncomplicated in his technique. Balanced, stays still, doesn't try to overhit the ball as we saw on that first boundary, just making sure he clears the inner ring fielder. Makes it look simple.
Right and left combination rounds you head in. An interesting evening the other night, contributing with bats. Some ferocious shots played by him to set the tone in the chase the other day. Can he continue with his batting form?
This time it was way wide, and the umpire would exercise his arms. First wide of the innings, and they could least afford that at this stage. They have to be really, really tight. Perhaps bring that fielder from long mid-on in the circle, try to stop the singles. And again, wide, almost off the pitch, that ball.
That's a good observation, Raja, because he's bowling back of length, so there is no way having fieldsmen at the long on position. You can understand posting the fielder at the square position, not on the boundary if he keeps bowling that length.
This time his kite has gone up in the air. This should be taken. It has been spilled. That was an absolute sitter. You need to take your chances, particularly when you're defending a low target as this one.
Credit to the bowler, again back of length, getting the top edge, and a lot of time for the fielder to adjust himself. Did not have to move either. Better concentration required in order to accept that catch. Did not have the necessary concentration and confidence to accept a very, very simple opportunity. It's gone down. And 7-4, no wicket from the first over. You cannot blame the bowler there. He has created the opportunity, but was not taken by the fieldsman.
I think poor captaincy and poor fielding as well. Coming back to your point about having that fielder at deep long on, I think he was stationed there after that first shot was played by Shahzaib straight down the ground. It was more of a reactionary approach, and he just stayed there. So obviously the captain or the bowler not thinking about their plan to the new batsman and forgetting about the lone man at that long mid-on.
Man at the fine leg, still inside the circle, man at the mid-wicket position on the onside, and mid-on is also inside the circle as well. A man at the mid-off position, man. Now they're dropping the fieldsman fine leg in a squarish position on the boundary.
And this time he's cleared the extra cover fielder. This will race away for another boundary. Nicely played once again, uncomplicated. Doesn't play a short shot in anger, this guy.
Doesn't care too much about the lengths that he's receiving at the moment on the right. Almost a back of length delivery. You don't see these kind of strokes being played, but such is the confidence of the man. He's quite convinced about his ability to clear that field.
Not the easiest shots to play in the book. In fact, one of the most difficult shots. Virat Kohli plays that shot quite well. You have to be extremely well balanced and be able to hit through the line.
Long off in place now. And gets a beautiful in-swinging delivery. Now, after posting that fieldsman on the boundary, searching for that in-swinger, it could have been bowled earlier as well.
Yeah, he seems to struggle a little bit when that ball is pitched within the line of the stumps. And if it's jagging back into the batsman a little bit, the bowler might fancy a wicket here. In he comes again. And this time again it was short, asking to be hit. And he's dismissed that off his presence for yet another boundary. Is it a bat or a guitar that he's holding? Because the bowlers and the fielders are dancing to his tunes.
Well, he's certainly not bowling the right length. The field is completely different for this kind of delivery. It's a poor execution. If you're searching for a short ball, there should have been fielder at the square of the wicket on the onside. They had fine leg up in the circle, square leg also up in the circle. This time, not quite getting the timing right.
Yeah, all too comfortable here at the moment for Shahzaib and Markhors 11. Overcompensating on that penultimate ball there, as you rightly pointed out.
Both the fieldsmen on the offside. The two fieldsmen allowed this time. He hoiks the ball over the square boundary for a 6. Lovely timing.
That's easy pickings once again. Stand and deliver. We'll have a look at that shot. Yeah, just down the track and then just playing through the line, helping the ball on its way. And yet another 6 to Markhors in this tournament.
They enjoy fantastic support here at the Asian Town Cricket Stadium. Devoted supporters come in good number, cheer for them. Small total they're chasing at the moment. He's beaten with a backup line delivery. The movement away from the batter as well. 3 boundaries from this over. 3 fours coming from this over. The second one. Keep pushing it forward. 2 overs have been bowled. 21 for no wicket. Markhors 11. 43 more runs to win from 8 overs.
Yeah, that last ball is the kind of the length we were talking about earlier, those hard lengths. The ball inevitably does something when it pitches there. Rising, moving away, last second. It's not easy, easier said than done, to consistently bowl that length. As we have a look at the worms, Markhors worms is skyrocketing at the moment. Nowhere near Prime Gladiators, who were struggling at this stage.
Off to a blistering start in this chase. The first over was a bit sedate, but the second producing plenty of runs. 21 for no wicket after 2 overs. 43 to win from 8. I don't see them playing out the 8 overs to get there. Should be over by 7th over.
I think it's good for their confidence once again. They need to carry that momentum. They've built it in the first game, and they look to be a side to beat in this tournament. That's for sure. As Mehboober comes in the ball, and he's struck that beautifully. And there's a fielder, though, who will come across and cut that ball off. For a moment, I thought he had gotten hold of it, and it's going way down over the boundary. Wasn't quite the case, though. It had the air, it had the... It didn't quite have the distance, though.
More restructuring will be done with that shot being attempted by the batsman. Where are the 2 fielders? Outside the 30-yard circle. They got men at the 3rd man on the boundary, long off on the boundary, and 3 men inside the circle. Now they're bringing the men from 3rd man up in the circle. So they got men at the gully position, and 3rd man is up in the boundary as well, up in the 30-yard circle rather. Stroked away, powerfully hit over the top of extra and away to the boundary for 4.
Smashed it, absolutely smashed it. Stand and deliver once again. That ball was on the good line, not a bad ball on that occasion. Didn't really do much of the wicket. All he had to do was play through the line and time it, and yet another boundary.
Goes again. Through the onside this time. It's high, it's handsome, it's travelling, it's gone into the stands, and it's gone for 6. A blazing stroke through the offside, the lofted one, and a lofted stroke through the onside for a 6 now.
Well, you little dynamite, Shazib, is a player to look out for. Stylish, effortless, and ever so effective. Hardly seemed to hit that ball, just timing it. And yet, the result is another maximum.
Sajib on to 29 of 13. Is he thinking about one more boundary from this over? Beaten with ball hitting the deck and moving away.
Yeah, and I think this time he was a little bit, on this occasion, I think he made a little bit too much room for himself, not being able to reach the line of that delivery.
What's the area he's targeting, the better? Get a single with that ill-timed shot.
Yeah, it's contrasting techniques here between Shazib and Ramsey. Ramsey's sheer power and muscle. On the other hand, Shazib is all class and timing.
Ideally would like to win as quickly as possible in order to push the net run rate for that qualification for the semi-final spot. The last 4, this time from around the wicket to left and better this time. Keeper with an excellent effort behind his stumps, though it's wide.
Well, just have a look at that swing again. If we can have a look at that, we'll see how hard he swung on that occasion. Had he connected, even a half a hit with that kind of a swing would have gone a long, long way.
And gets through another delivery. Is taking the pace of the ball.
This is a dangerous opening pair here, and the teams watching this tournament from the dugout and from their homes must keep their eye on these two batsmen. Their partnership, they've stitched together 34 runs in this match already from just 18 deliveries. Shahzeb standing pretty on 30 of just 15, and Ramsey hasn't contributed much, has he? Just one of 3 deliveries. It's been a one-man show so far.
That's how they have been doing in the history of the game as well. If you look at limited overs cricket, one-day cricket in particular, because it's been in existence for many years. Pakistan opening with Saeed Anwar and Shahid Afridi, India, Tendulkar and Ganguly. So right and left hand combination, Herschel Gibbs and Gary Kirsten for South Africa. They keep the combination to not allow the bowlers to settle into particular rhythm, line and length. And when one player who is stroking the ball well, then they make sure that they feed the strike back to him rather than trying to compete with the player.
Oh, he's hit that disdainfully into the grandstands. All too easy for him once again. Yet another 6, yet another short ball, and he's setting the cat amongst pigeons here.
Clobbering it. The length was short and he decided to smash it in front of the square rather than looking to hit it behind. And a real thump was given.
I think Devinder, just going back to your point about openers and having left and right hand combinations, it creates all sorts of problems for the opposition captains in terms of setting the right kind of field, thinking about which fielder to get where, whether they have their fastest fielders at the right place. So it does put opposition captains under a lot of pressure. And this time it was wide, a one-handed, I wouldn't call that a drive, it was a one-handed slam over extra cover, and yet another bounce.
Tells us something about his awareness where the fielders aren't. Knew that he was not there, so made sure that he got the placement right. Placement was the key here. He knew that if made a half a connection, would have taken it away over the top of that fielder. So just clearing the 30-yard circle. That's been the focus.
That's where he's been struggling a little bit. It's going to be a couple of probably just one leg buys, but I've seen him struggle a little bit when that ball has jacked back in, just around his hips and legs, particularly when it's a little bit shorter. That's usually a sign of a batsman who's very good, was a very good top hand player, and finds it easier to hit the ball straight down the ground and scur the wicket. But you need a stronger bottom hand when it comes to playing the shots on the onside, although he hasn't done too badly there, but it does seem like he's much better playing the ball straight down the ground and square on the offside.
Shahzeb is approaching a half century, 40 of 18 runs. He was quite aggressive in the first match. Has been quite today, 1 of 3. Hasn't got opportunity to play. Just making sure that he's contributing in that partnership. Pulled away in front of square for a single.
I think he's had the opportunity to spectate from the other end, and I'm sure he's thoroughly enjoyed the way Shahzeb has gone out there and expressed himself. And as we... Oh, wow, wow, wow! It's going, it's going, it's gone! That was a monstrous 6 as I welcome my fellow co-commentator Chandan into the commentary box. Chandan, welcome to the commentary box, and it was almost coming our way.
Absolutely, absolutely. What a shot. They have been displaying a wonderful batting effort today. The Markhors.
Comes again, and this time it was slightly into his pads and working it away for a single.
A very well timed flick there. Batsman taking a single. After 4 overs, the score is 55 for no loss.
As we look at that worm, these two worms can be the worst of enemies, not the best of friends.
Absolutely, it's both going their own direction. Look at that Markhors run rate. It's climbed as a peak.
I mean, think about the expression poles apart there. And that situation completely personifies it. And Nafis has come into the attack. It's mainly to restrict the flow of runs at this stage. It's a bit ambitious for Prime Gladiators to think that they can win this game. But still, they've got to try something different and delay the victory laps. It was shot way too easy. He's picked his spot. He had all the time in the world. And 4 more it is.
No protection there. The deep mid-wicket area. That ball was asked to be hit on his feet. What a pull. That's a 4.
He comes in again. And using his feet, he skied it. This should be taken. There's a fieldsman coming underneath it. And another one goes down. This is the second for this game already.
Absolutely. That catch was to be taken. At least a breakthrough here. While the match is closing. Going into the pocket of Markhors. They just need 4 of 5.4 overs left. They have not lost a single wicket till now. 60 for no loss.
Nafis is quite... Oh, he's hit that straight down the ground. There is a fieldsman patrolling that ball though, so just a single.
That was an over-pitched delivery. This time the batsman showing it the full face of the bat. Just a single down to the long on area.
I've seen Nafis operate in domestic cricket and he's really quite effective with his slow medium pace bowling. Man with a golden arm, but well, what a way to finish it. Is finish it off in style. And he's sending a message to the teams out there who are watching this game. He's the man to look out for. Markhor is certainly the team to beat.
Wonderful shot that to finish the proceedings there. What a victory for Markhors. They have won this contest without losing one single wicket. That will be a high boosting point for them going into another phase of the game. Wonderful batting there by Shabiz on top. 58 not out of 23. And Ramsey just being the spectator. 3 of 5. And the extra 6 scoring at the rate of 14.36. Markhors Redco International win by 10 wickets.
Yeah, having a look at that bowling card again. Not much to write home about there. Umar Said, economy rate of 14, really expensive. Bashar Abdul started off well though, just 7 of the over. 13 and over was the economy rate of Mubashir Rahman. Faisal were 1 over for 20 runs. Really, really expensive. And Nafis bowling just the 4 balls for 12 runs. It was about wickets. It was about going out there and making sure you get those early inroads. But it wasn't the case. As we look at the match summary, Prime Gladiators in the 10 overs, scoring 63 for 7, well below par with 11 extras as well. So they were certainly held by those. The pick of the batsman for Prime Gladiators was Mahbubur, scoring 15 of 12. and then solitary contributions from Faisal and Ismail as well. Markhors chasing this total down. It was a walk in the park for them in the end. 4.4 overs was all it took for them to walk across the target. Far too easy, and they will take this game as a real confidence booster.
Absolutely, we will be back after the presentation ceremony.
Good evening and welcome to the presentation ceremony of match number 9 played between Markhors 11 and Prime Gladiators. Now the Markhors 11 look like the team to beat in this tournament. That's because of last evening they chased down 148 with ease. This evening they just restricted the opposition to 63 for 7 and they made little work in this chase as well as they went on to win this fixture by 10 wickets. They have put on authoritative performances in the league so far, and by doing so they've also got that one leg across the qualifying lines as well in the knockouts. What a day it's been and what cricket they're playing, fearless and completely a team-like performance each time they're coming out. In the presentation ceremony, before I call upon the guest of honor, we'd like to call upon the captains. We'd like to call upon the captain of the Prime Gladiators, if he could come along for a quick chat. Hi, tough luck. I'm sure the total wasn't enough for you.
Yeah, obviously it was tough luck. We didn't get well, so hopefully next match inshallah we'll be getting touch.
Why was run scoring so difficult? Because we did see the other batters getting to 150 last evening. Was the pitch playing difficult or just that they bowled very well?
Yeah, definitely they bowled very well, and maybe there is some mistake in our batters. Hopefully next time inshallah we'll be come back.
And what do you have to say about the Markhors? They yesterday chased down 140. Today they've restricted you to 63 for 7.
Yeah, and congratulations them. Like the next match also they chase down like today also, and hopefully they're getting second round. Congratulations to them.
All the very best. उम्मीद है कि आप अच्छा करेंगे अगले game में.
Inshallah, thank you.
Right, that's captain of Prime Gladiators. Can we also call upon the captain of Markhors 11, Abdul Sattar, always smiling, and his team is looking very good at the moment. Abdul, batting first, batting second, आपके लिए कुछ problem नहीं है, आप अपना game जीतते रहोगे.
Thank you very much for calling me here. Actually, I wanted to bat today and to get more excitement, but unfortunately we lost the toss, and we learnt from yesterday's mistakes, from the bowling, from the fielding side. We tried to give our best today from yesterday's mistakes. It was a low-scoring match. We tried to finish it as early as possible, you know. That's all, yeah.
आपकी टीम की स्ट्रेंथ क्या है? क्योंकि हम आज अच्छी बॉलिंग परफॉर्मेंस की, कल अच्छी बैटिंग परफॉर्मेंस की. आप क्या बताना चाहोगे स्ट्रेंथ के बारे में?
Well, we have more batters, and we can chase good runs, and you know, they play good cricket.
आज आपकी फील्डिंग और बॉलिंग भी कल से बहुत अच्छी थी. लगता है आपने डगआउट में कुछ तो बातचीत की होगी इसके बारे में.
Yesterday we have spoken to each other. I mean, and we tried to learn what we have missed yesterday, and we all agreed upon that we will not repeat this in next matches. You know, so this is what we have done.
You are looking like the team to beat in the tournament. You already won 2 games, which means that you're already qualifying at the moment. So all the very best and keep up with the great work.
Actually, yesterday United Challenger, we think that we played the final yesterday. We will never have a match like that. I mean, in coming matches, you know. So we'll like to play good cricket. Let's see who win the cup and this all. You know, we are here to play good cricket.
And you're doing that. Congratulations and all the very best.
Thank you very much.
Right, just the right time to also call now for the presentation our guest of honor, Mr. Asadullah Khan, head coach of the national cricket team of Qatar. Can we have a round of applause for Mr. Asadullah Khan? Thank you so much, sir, for gracing the occasion. We look forward to your contribution in the coming years as well. And now to announce the player of the match, we had quite a few performances, all of them coming from the Markhors 11. We had Kashif Qureshi for 2 for 11, put up a very fine bowling performance. Also Wasim Abbasi 2 for 16. But somebody who made batting so easy with his sublime timing and big hits, Shazeb Afridi, 58 in 23 balls, 6 fours and 5 sixes. Shazeb, Ajay, Asad, you can kindly take the medallion from there. What a towering performance. Out of the score of 67, 58 came from the bat. Come this side. Asad ji. 58 runs coming from the bat of Shazeb from the team score of 67. Goes to show the kind of impact he had. I'll have a quick chat with Shazeb. Batting अच्छी लगी?
हाँ बहुत शुक्रिया अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. सबसे पहले मैं अल्लाह का बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि इसने मुझे ऐसा अच्छा ग्राउंड में मौका दिया और मैं अपनी टीम को मुबारकबाद पेश करता हूँ. इंशाल्लाह हमारा फाइनल की इस तरह खेलेंगे और इंशाल्लाह हम फाइनल जीतेंगे इंशाल्लाह.
आपको किसी प्लान के साथ भेजा जाता है या आपको बोलते हैं आप अपना खेले जिस जो भी सिचुएशन रहे?
नहीं नहीं, ये हमारा जो कैप्टन है ना साहब अब्दुल सत्तार, उसने कहा था वो अपना जो अपना निचली गेम है ना वो अपना गेम करे। मेरा अपना गेम किया वो, ये तो हमारा हेटिंग मेरा निचली गेम है।
और ये जो मौका कतार क्रिकेट ने दिया है, जो टेलीवाइज हो रहा है, जो उस मैदान में मौका मिल रहा है अंडर लाइट्स, कैसा लग रहा है?
अच्छा है इसका, मैं इतना शुक्र हूँ कि मैं इसको अदा नहीं कर सकता किस तरह अदा करूँ। अब मैं उसका जो कतर एसोसिएशन है ना इसका बहुत मशहूर, बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ।
आपने बेहतरीन बल्लेबाजी की, मज़ा किया आपको बैटिंग करते हो और जो छक्के मारते बड़े आराम से मारते हो आप।
बस माशाल्लाह अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मेरा बैट बहुत अच्छा है और इस तरह मैं बस अच्छा गेम खेला।
ठीक है, ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट आगे के मैचेस के लिए।
इंशाल्लाह, थैंक यू सर।
Shehzab there, the player of the match. What a lovely performance he's put across with the bat. Made six hitting look so very easy. That's Markhors 11 winning their second game. But we have another game lined up later on in the evening as well. We'll get you all the live action after a very short break. Thank you for staying with us in this presentation. We'll be right back.